Hello and welcome to The Week with me, Puja Awasthi. This is episode 7 of Undoctored. Undoctored is a space where the experts speak your language on all matters health. They say you are what you eat. But what exactly should you be eating, when, and how much? That is the difficult question to answer. Our expert today is Dr. Mona Velangi. She is a senior dietitian at the KG Somaiya Medical College and Research Center in Mumbai. Welcome to the week, Dr. Velangi. Could you please give us a brief introduction to your specific areas of interest where nutrition is concerned?
Hi, I'm Dr. Monal Velangi. I am currently working as a senior dietitian at KG Somaiya Hospital and Research Center. And my areas of interest are clinical nutrition and sports nutrition. I'm also, I have a bit interest in nutrition research. So I'm mostly inclined more towards functional foods and their role in preventing disease.
Right. So let's just take off from there. What exactly are functional foods?
Functional foods, if you say these are the foods which have certain health benefits, and these help in either preventing the symptoms of the diseases or delaying the diseases as well. So let's say the person is having a particular disease. With the help of functional foods, the course of the disease would be delayed. So if you are going to end up with some severe symptom in, let's say, 5 years, this would take another 10 years. Or some functional foods can also help in reversing the symptoms, like pain would reduce, and so these are some examples.
And could you give us some examples of functional foods?
Yeah, of course. You have methi seeds, you have virgin coconut oil, flax seeds. These are some examples of functional foods. So if you say methi seeds, which are beneficial in having anti-diabetic properties. Yeah, if you talk about virgin coconut oil, which is also my research per se, it has anti-inflammatory property. I have worked basically on knee osteoarthritis, and it has shown wonderful results with knee osteoarthritis. But even during COVID period, virgin coconut oil was useful in reducing and alleviating the symptoms of COVID. And thirdly, I also spoke about flax seeds. So yes, they are also good in your alpha ALA. So that is beneficial in case of managing immunity and having better insulin resistance, reducing insulin resistance. These are the things which flax seeds would be helpful for. And omega-3 is also good for brain. And
yes. Now, what in all your years of being a dietitian and a nutritional expert, what are the most common myths that you have come across?
Well, most common myths, if I say, one is only diet can help you reduce weight. So definitely not. Diet along with exercise, both together helps you reduce weight. Secondly, I also come across that fad diets, or let's say if diets which are not followed in the right manner, like ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting diet, if not followed in the right way, they are giving instant weight loss. But yes, along with that, it comes with other issues as well. So let's say there would be more of ketone bodies in the body, which would have a lot of issues, or ketonuria, and then ketone body uria. Then you have ketogenic coma. These are the effects if you are not doing the ketogenic diet in the right way. Similarly, if intermittent fasting is not done in the right way, person might go into hypoglycemia, or person might have a kind of collapse. These are the issues if you are not doing. So fat diet is number 2. And one more, if you say with diet per se, that all oils are, when we say that zero cholesterol oils, right? So people go blindly and take zero cholesterol oil. So we have to realize that all oils are zero cholesterol only. Cholesterol usually comes from an animal source, and all our oils are usually vegetable, cooking oils are usually vegetable based sources. So when you intake these oils in high amounts, and if the saturated fat and goes higher in body, then this gets converted in cholesterol. So that is how there is indirect rise in cholesterol. But if somebody is Somebody is trying to say it is zero cholesterol oil. Yes, it is a zero cholesterol oil.
What about processed oils? There is now research which says that the more that the oils are processed, the less nutrients that they have, and the more harmful they are. And they especially lead to certain kinds of cancers like colon and rectal cancers.
Yes. So processing technique definitely has an impact on it. So sometimes there is hydrogenation happening. So in that case, or trans fats are increasing in the oil. Then in such cases, it is carcinogenic. However, if you have cold pressed oils, they preserve nutrients and they have a little better nutrient profile. As I spoke about, let's say cold pressed virgin coconut oil is one. You have cold pressed olive oil. These are certain oils which can be used and they provide health benefits uh, if taken, whenever we say oil, they need to be taken in right amounts. So
Right.
just because any food which is good does not mean you can go overboard with it. And moderation is the key everywhere. That we need to understand.
One of the most used cooking mediums in Indian homes is also mustard oil. So, how does that rate as a cooking medium?
Yeah, mustard oil is definitely it is good oil can be used in the household cooking. Mustard oil is one of the good oils and it has good mufa content as
Right. One of the things that you just said, Dr. Velangi, is that if it's a good food, it doesn't mean that you go overboard in its consumption, right? So,
well.
similarly, is there any food which is like blanket bad? Like in the today's day, we hear that okay, ghee is blanket bad, don't have ghee. Uh, or let's say a certain fruit has very high sugar content, don't have it. But is any food just bad or good, black or white?
If you say totally bad, you can say white sugar right now it is coming up in a lot of ways, which is having disease related risk factors, not just from say, let's say diabetes point of view, but from heart point of view, cancer point of view, brain disorder point of view. So white sugar, if we say, could be one of it. And also, if you have heard about vanaspati ghee, which is dalda, dalda is pure hydrogenated fat, which is not heart friendly at all. So these are two, if you can say, a total no to it. Or let's say even refined flour like maida and related products. So all the refined carbohydrates, if you try to avoid, and all the high trans fats and all the high saturated fats, like when food is fried in refried oil, these things should be avoided. I think.
Right. So, when you are an expert, so you know how much to have, but we as lay people, how do we measure how much of what should we be eating?
Yeah, great question. Great question. Usually in my speeches and talks, I try to incorporate this point always that there is something called a serving size and something called as a portion size. So whenever we say serving size is what an restaurant or what a food company is serving you. However, a person should always know how much portion should he eat. We always say that okay, we get more quantity for lesser amount of money, so we get value for money, and we tend to eat that much. But do your body really need that much? So, if, for example, if you say, uh, let's talk about fruit, right? So, a fruit of a size of a ball would be enough for you to go with. But just because you can have one entire watermelon at a go, it is not a good thing to have. Okay, then watermelon, if you know one small cup of ice cream what you get for 10, 15 rupees, I believe, that much is the size of the container that whatever fits in that should be your watermelon
Right.
content, what you have. Uh, Similarly, if you talk about fish, so it should be like this palm size. So there are certain, let's say, hand gestures which we teach with respect to portion size that the person understands how much he should consume at a meal. So even if it is too much, the body only needs particular portion size. Again, the portion size will vary. So for individual A and individual B, it would be different compared how we calculate their carbohydrate, protein, fat requirement, and accordingly how much allowance will be given to that person.
You have mentioned intermittent dieting when you were just talking about fad diets. Now, the proponents of this kind of diet say that fasting is something that we have always practiced, and fasting is per se not a bad thing. But what is the drawback of these 16 and 14 hours or whatever hours of fasting that you are carrying out? If you've just decided that I am in 4 hours I'm going to eat everything, in 20 hours eat nothing. So what is the drawback in that?
Right. Excellent question. And I think I answer this question like every day in and day out in my practice. So when we say an individual has to follow a particular diet, we can't just get up and say, I want to follow intermittent fasting from day one. You have to adapt to it. I have to see how each individual is really adapting to it. Whether a person can follow a 16-hour period, whether a person can follow a period of 8 hours of fasting, that varies from individual to individual. So it can't be go like a blanket rule. So if anybody is following, it has to be followed with an expert advice. Because if it is not followed in a right way, if you are eating wrong food in that 4 hour window period, or if you're just trying to think continuously about, okay, when is my next food going to be, it is going to harm your productivity and everything. But fasting, yes, if your body has adapted to it and if you are able to manage it, then we can. Intermittent fasting definitely has shown good results also. With though there was one controversy which came up in between the study, but even with that study, we have been a lot of experts have asked for more research into that, more of randomized control trials into that to come into picture. But for as of now, many studies have been showing good results with intermittent fasting. But yes, it has to be done under the supervision of an informed uh, expert, I would say.
And within your window of eating, can you eat anything, or then also you have to be mindful of portions and
No,
size?
you have to be always mindful of what you're eating. That's what I said. That if you are in the window of 4 hours, if you're only eating, let's say, deep fried vadas and deep fried jalebis, and not including nutrient dense, good quality nutrients in your meal, then definitely that is going to lead to a lot of nutritional deficiencies, not just carbohydrate, protein, fat, but other vitamin, mineral deficiencies. So that is the reason I'm saying that initially, if you take advice, till you get adapted to a particular lifestyle. And then once you're on your own, a little bit of review and follow-ups would help.
Right. Now, before one decides to consult a dietitian, should one also consult other doctors for a general checkup? For instance, is there any inflammation in my body, or am I retaining water due to other reasons, or my thyroid levels are high? Because all these, I'm sure, do have to be ruled out before I come to a dietitian.
Of course, of course. I mean, even when a person comes to me for the first time, I would always say, get your checkup done and visit the doctor if there is any misalignment in any of the blood reports, or do a basic general checkup, so that I also understand that it is just not about weight, but what is the uh, process behind this weight gain or weight loss, what is happening. And if I tackle the diet in that way, the person will get a better result compared to me just managing like weight loss or weight gain, whatever. So, yes, I would say it is always best to get your blood checkups done, visit a doctor once before you head to a dietitian. Or if have already done that and you're following up with a dietitian after, let's say, 3 months or so, then okay, then it's okay, even if you're just following up. But for the initial uh, first consult, I would always recommend you go and visit the doctor.
So, in all these years that you have been working, uh, have you seen an uptick in the number of people who are actively seeking you out? Because initially, also a dietitian or a nutritionist role would be to look at patients who are already under care for some different kind of problem. But now, are patients coming directly to you because they want to know how to eat better?
Yes, definitely over a period of time, if I'm seeing initially, or even when I was studying per se, this particular nutrition subject, there was not much awareness. The moment it started picking up everywhere in newspapers and everything, people started becoming more conscious about it. Let's say a decade ago during my practice, if I say people were coming and saying, "हमको सिर्फ खाना बताइए, सिर्फ food. Let me know only about food. Nothing else. No vitamins, no supplements, no protein supplement, nothing." But nowadays, it's becoming people are becoming more aware. They know what are proteins, they know what are vitamins and everything. So when they come and speak to me, definitely they are speaking not just in a layman language now, but technical words they know. So let's say that, "What, madam, this is okay, but how do I increase my protein?" Which was not seen probably a decade ago. People were not asking me those such kind of questions. They were just saying that, "How do I manage my schedule and all?" But right now they are more concerned. They ask me, "What would I do for vitamin C?" Probably because of, they are reading a lot in the digital media and newspapers. And I'm glad that they are aware and they're taking care of themselves. So yeah, there has been an uptake in the people of how they visit me, but there has also been a change in the set of questions that they ask me.
One of the things which is always said about a vegetarian diet is that it is deficient in, particularly in proteins, and no matter how much dal or paneer you take, you will not be able to make up for it. Is that true, or is it a fallacy?
All right, great. Nice question. So, as I said initially, whenever a patient or a client visits us, we calculate, let's say, what is their carbohydrate, protein, fat requirement. If I have a protein requirement which is a little lower for a particular patient, then if it is sufficing by my carbohydrate, by my dals or paneer and sprouts, then it is fine. I mean, however, if I'm unable to meet that count with the food protein, then I will think of adding a protein supplement. But if a normal individual with a sedentary lifestyle and having lower protein requirement as per the bodily calculation, it could be met with diet as well. However, with the given lifestyle and people are getting too busy, skipping meals, not making enough effort of making, let's say, morning lunch and all, in such cases, protein supplements would help. But if somebody who is very compliant and somebody who is very keen and taking care of themselves throughout the day, then they could meet their protein needs as well from pure food. However, that much appetite has to be there for the person as well.
Right. Now, as far as our traditional Indian diets go, what is cooked at home, are those sufficient? Are those appropriate to the weather and to our lifestyles, or do they need modifications?
Great question. Now, with respect to traditional foods, which we talk about, India has a lot of spices as well uh, with us. And compared to other countries, India uses spices every day in their food. However, recently when I was attending one of the conferences, it was a big question that sometimes our bodies also get adapted to a particular food. That means every day in, day out, if we are eating that particular food, how much are we responding to it? Simple thing, like let's say there was an Indian lady and a lady from abroad. So she was down with very severe cold. Okay. So even like a little bit of dash of ginger tea, sorted her out.
Right, right.
But sometimes in India also, even if we say, okay, have ginger tea, and the person has 3 cups of tea, still it takes a little time for us to recover from the cold. The difference is how my body is responding to a particular food, the traditional food, right? So similarly, a very nice book by Sudha Murthy, right? In that, she has mentioned that there are a lot of foods which are pertinent to India. But nowadays, we are using a lot of foods from outside. So let's say simple things like chilies and all, these are not Indian. But we have forgotten the use of pepper. And there are a lot of things wherein you add pepper to, let's say, a fermented batter, and it reduces the flatulence capacity of it, all such things. So yes, traditional recipes, if you are using it in a right manner, then they are beneficial. However, if you are not incorporating something in a right manner, then if you are falling short in particular nutrients or particular vitamins, then you need to take help. Let's say either from dietary sources or from supplements. But first is always go have a look for dietary sources and then you go for supplement. Like how we write exam paper, we have a main answer sheet first, and then if required, we add on supplement. So people should understand that we cannot bypass food and just jump upon supplements and vitamins and minerals, pills, but we have to first uh, cater to food part, and then on top of it we have to, these are like whatever are the deficiencies to be filled in.
So, my second last question to you is this, that now we are at a stage where all 12 months we get all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of fruit, which was not there earlier. I mean, carrots we would get only in winter, watermelon we would get only in summer. How good an idea is it to eat these kind of fruits which are not seasonal year round?
Great question again. So when we talk about the seasonal foods, they are during the season for a particular reason. Let's say example mango. Mango we get during summers. Summers is a really hot weather, sunny weather, and that is the time where your skin and everything is getting affected. We need antioxidants. So mango has beta carotene, and that is a reason why probably nature has also brought in a way that mango is given during to us during summers only. Once the monsoon begins, we do not have mangoes. We do not need mangoes because that much amount of beta carotene is not required at a go, which is needed in summers. So, but people still tend to, because it is available in market. So we need to satisfy our taste buds and everything. We're still enjoying the taste. It is made majorly for taste and lifestyles and everything. But I feel that it is always better to choose for seasonal. Second thing is with the hybridization and everything, with the new techniques coming in and new fertilizers being used, uh, year around the foods are available. However, we need to make mindful choices. So if let's say they are green leafy vegetables, then they are giving you fiber and good health benefits, then why not? But if you're saying, okay, I will eat a mango every day, then it is going to also have its effect on your body. So let's say there could be more of insulin resistance, there could be weight gain. These are some. So I took an example of a green leafy vegetable and a mango here.
Finally, Dr. Vilangi, when lay people, when we think of food, we think of our bodies. And if I eat this, my skin is going to be good. I'm going to be slim. My hair is going to be longer. Whatever, whatever. However, I want you to talk a little about the emotional and the mental connect and the relationship that we have with food at a much deeper level.
Great, fantastic. Because nobody really talks about this point. So I'm really glad that you have brought out this point. When we talk about the, let's say, food and brain connection, or food and mood connection, or gut and brain connection, that works really great. Uh, Nowadays, I see a lot of people coming to me with any unidentified thing. They say that sometimes I have bouts of diarrhea, sometimes I have bouts of constipation. So, what is the reason? With the increasing stress levels uh, in the job market, or whatever other reasons, stress factors, that is one of the effect which is the person is facing, and this is really impacting the gut. So but what are the connection over here? So whenever there is kind of a stressor or a stimulus with stress brings stress in the body, that is the time when your cortisol level goes up, which is stress hormone level goes up, and all the other hormone levels start fluctuating. So the balance is going haywire. Or let's say your hunger hormone and your suppressant, appetite suppressant hormone, all the satiety hormones, all these are going up and down. So person gets confused. Let's say if I'm very happy, there is a happy high in my body. I'm really getting that endorphin rush. Can't think what is right, what is wrong. So I lay my hands sometimes on a high carbohydrate rich food. let's say there is a high in dopamine in my body, I would prefer eating more of high carbohydrate rich food. Or let's say if a person is really stressed, studying late night, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm unable to solve this term. What to do? What to do? They lay their hands on cakes and the bakery items and chips. So these are the things wherein a lot of whenever there is a kind of a stress, could be a positive stress or could be a negative stress, that is going to have an effect on the body and ultimately on hormones, and that is how our choices would vary on what foods we would lay our hands on.